terms of the questionnaire. I mean, especially the second time through. But do you have
Yeah,
it?
no.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we're good for now.
Okay. If anything comes up, just holler. Well, you'd be shocked. I don't think I've had like a single queen VOD.
Yeah, right. She's so good right now.
Yeah.
I figured just learn it.
Yeah. It's a bit weird because I've had like a lot of sessions, but no queen. And yet every single code I look at from somebody else's session is a queen. So I'm like,
yeah, I was playing Diva against her and like I was getting rolled and I was like, I gotta just learn it.
Yeah,
so good.
She is really strong. I think they'll definitely tune down they'll nerf the old generation while she is old active. And then they'll also nerf, I think, the healing multiplier probably to like 1.5 or 1.75 at least. And then
she was already beating it.
Yeah. I think from there, I think she'll be not too bad. Okay, so thing with Queen is obviously just like, I think if you like look at this matchup in particular, like ignoring the Brig Mercy foolishness, I think there's two ways to look at the Reinhardt matchup. All right, you outplay him in terms of the micro, or you skip him. That's it.
Yeah, I struggled with that.
And I think that's the thing, because you have to keep in mind that one of the things that you have over Ryan is your shout, which he has charge, but you guys both have mobility to basically, if you're thinking about like, if I can get past that Reinhardt swing, then I can kill Brig, I can kill Hanzo with my passive speed, right? Or at least put out a lot of pressure. So you think of yourself as like, you have dive tank qualities, right? A lot like a Ramattra with Nemesis form. That being said, especially in Queen's current form, you don't necessarily have to. You can take the tank trade. You just need to play it really well. Whether that's hitting every carnage, not getting pinned, hitting your shots, hitting your knife, getting your bleed stack ups and all that kind of stuff. So does that make sense?
Yeah, I'm also kind of like this map in general. I'm just kind of fucking lost on. So you're gonna see.
Yeah, well, you're already trolling.
I just kind of, yeah, okay.
Yeah, you're already trolling. Like I think there's very few and far between times where this actually makes sense.
Well, I knew it was bad, but I thought our sim like was kind of forcing us to play up there. But yeah, I got you.
Well, yeah, no. Like Sim is pretty flexible here. Like Sim can come here. Sim can set up her own TP bombs and go for their backline. Sim can do all sorts of crap, right? Okay, Sim's right click is also like ridiculously good at finishing off kills. So don't even worry about it. Yeah. So I understand what you're doing here, but like no. Here are the rules of the shout. You shout in two circumstances. One if you're getting pushed, two if you're pushing.
All right.
That's it. If you use it in the third circumstance because you're low, then you need to give up space. Or you need to, you screwed up, get out. So like here, if you don't, you're standing here. And the reason why you're low is, well, first off, your initial pathing sucks. But do you see why you're low? I don't know if you can see that blue pixel.
The Hanzo?
Yeah, the Hanzo, right?
Yeah, just spamming.
You just can't peek this Hanzo and you're good to go. And then what you do here is then you either chill, you wait for this Ryan Brig, you wait for Bowie to push you, then you shout, and then he's cooked. Or you get such an advantage that they start to disengage, and then you shout and you just completely run them over. But now, you don't have that option. I appreciate your attempt here, but it was forced, right? You see them dropping here? This should have happened if you just played cover well and hit your carnages like you were doing. And then once they've dropped here, now is your opportunity to actually shout and push. Do you see that?
Yeah, I got you.
So the problem here is play a little bit tighter with your cover so that you have the shout to actually pursue. And then obviously the pathing is just kind of a mess. Well, like you can't actually push here, so yeah, it's a bit of a disaster. Okay, let's keep going. This is a short VOD. We definitely gonna need another one.
Yeah, I mean we got full health and then they capped first fight.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Why is he waiting so long? Oh, we must be going for a squishy, I guess. Let's kill him. I mean, they trolled, but yeah, just chill. Just chill. Nice knife.
Ah!
So,
Trolling.
Yeah. So you hit the knife. I wouldn't rush the pole here necessarily either. So what you do is once you hit a knife like this, just kind of walk forward and position yourself in a way to catch it a little bit easier as well. So the other thing you have to keep in mind here is like, you know she's going to bash immediately. So either see if she trolls and bashes early or just yank pole axe. But try and walk forward to catch the knife a little bit easier. And then obviously here, the carnage misses. That's a fight loser. Shout out. Shot the cover, shot the cover, shot the cover, shot the cover. So like, shout to cover would be where? What are your options? Let's just put it this way. What are your options right now? But I said you can either defensive or aggressive.
I could maybe offensively push the Hanzo or back.
Yep. Dive tank, right?
For
dive tank. This guy's here.
Right.
He's trolling. I don't care if you don't have your carnage. You have a shotgun. He's dead. Okay. You shout on him. You shoot melee. He's dead. Okay. Your defensive option is what?
Maybe back to the, or I guess I can play behind Sim Shield.
Yeah, you just go here and start playing around Sim Wall. If you start getting murked, you know what I'm saying? Just play around Sim Wall. Here, you're kind of like chilling, you know? Like you're kind of nowhere really either forward or backward. Yeah, there we go. Nice.
I thought I was gonna hit the Mercy, but she's in the fucking air, dude.
That's okay. It happens. He dies anyway. I mean, really? One kill? Wait, we take it. Brig bashes, that's it. It's kind of like, I'm trying to think of like a good analogy here. It's a little bit like Winston, okay? Where you know what they're going to do when you jump them, and so you kind of play around that. Your carnage is the same thing. Like when I see this here, an experienced Junkerqueen player knows what she's gonna do, right? She's got bash, so what's she gonna do?
Bash away.
Bash away, whether that's to your left or to your right, I mean, I don't know. It doesn't matter. You just sit, so what do you do? So how do you play around that?
Try and force her to use it just by, you know, shooting her.
Yeah, shoot, axe, or not axe, excuse me, knife, whatever, right? And then you're in a better position to actually finish the skill. That's the only problem. Like, a better queen kills this brig, straight up.
Yeah, for sure.
So a lot of your issues so far are definitely more mechanical, which is really fine. We could just fix that with time. Very good job, by the way. This brig is not blocking a single knife, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
But you know, I think we could accelerate the rate with which you're improving by actually giving you stuff to look for, right? Like when you use your carnage on a like something sitting in front of you, if it's on a brig, if it's on a Hanzo, if it's on a Genji, you can't get your carnage deflected by a Genji. You can't get your carnage lunged by a Hanzo, or bashed by a brig, or coach gunned by an Ashe. You know what I'm saying? Or even TP'd by a Kiriko, right? Worst case scenario. So I think practicing every time you get into a 1v1 here, you should already know what the squishy cooldowns are. That needs to be a goal. Glad to see that we've learned from our mistakes. Good target priority here. I mean, really the best thing that you could do is trade backlines in that instance. You did give your team a shout. Almost got him. This is fine. Oh. Now, I'm going to be honest here. Where should you go? Where should you go?
Maybe try and push the Hanzo top.
Right, exactly. Again,
I realized it too late.
That's okay. That's again, like, I know you're used to playing dive tanks though, so you should have a little bit of that instinct where you're going like, I have shout. If I like walk up in here and push this Hanzo out, if Ryan pushes me, I can still shout, right? It's not, I think like, so far we've talked about you can beat Bowie in a Ryan trade if you play it really well mechanically. But you can also just see an off-angle DPS and just say, oh, goodbye, right? But this is like, you're very one-dimensional with the way that you're approaching this, and now it's too late. Now he's gone, right? Yeah. This break, man. It's unreal. And there it is, right? Like, you played this one well. She screwed it up. She should die here, surely.
I got nervous.
You get a little lost in the sauce.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. A little lost in the sauce. Just decisive, right? and then now you're cooked.
Done.
Okay, let's keep it. So I want to, well, let's before we talk too heavily about what we need to go, there's a couple of red flags, right? Mechanics, number one. In terms of like, you know, actually not even mechanics. I think matchups, micro matchups in the 1v1s, right? I think knowing what you're going to carnage if the carnage is going to land. Being more willing to clear a DPS when they're accessible. And then again, being very decisive about, is my shout pushing, is my shout kiting? If I have to shout just because I'm taking too much damage, I need to kind of look at my positioning, right? So those are three things that we kind of throw in there. Do you have any questions so far?
No, it makes sense, especially when looking back, it's kind of obvious.
Yeah, of course. And it's always obvious in the moment, but we want hopefully that we can learn something from this that you can actually like practice.
Yeah, definitely.
Like right here, for example. You see it, right?
Could push the Hanzo.
You could push the Hanzo. And the best thing about it too is like, think about it from a diva perspective. You walk in here, they hard kite, hard peel, but you're not cooked because you can actually tuck in here, right? It's not necessarily an all-in. Like if you were to dive this as diva, you'd fly in booster, he'd lunge out, you'd matrix, you'd tuck in the corner, maybe grab the mini and go from there, right? Same thing goes to the queen, right? There it is. If anything, I think you just were too scared. You're maybe.
I thought the Rhine was gonna push me. Yeah.
Right. I also think staging from here, better positioning, right? You're faster, you're sneakier. You can, you know, ride the rail, woo, and then land just a little bit better. Micro thing, but I don't see any reason for you to drop. And then, I mean, obviously, like, I mean, when this happens, like, there's not a lot you can do. So, you know, he was a better dive tank. He killed your backline. You didn't kill his. Now you're getting RKO'd in the mirror. GG's. Okay, grab me another code.
Yep.
Oh, there it is. Wait, no, that's the other one. Never mind.
No, the one I put in chat's the same one. Hold up.
Yeah.
Okay. This one I played Ram first point and then Junkerqueen second.
Okay, we can skip the Ram if you want. You want to skip the Ram?
Yeah, I would say go second point.
Okay. This looks familiar. So this is like another one of the circumstances where you're like, do I really want to take this straight up? You know, do I want to try and wrap? Do I want to try and get a cleave? So like, let's put it this way. Right here, as you turn the corner, if you hit this knife on Bowie or on Pantera, you take the brawl, I think. I think you push in, at least you try. You push in, you carnage, maybe even shout. I think you got a good shot to hit a 2 or 3 man carnage and maybe you actually beat the Rhine in the trade, right? If you don't get that, you didn't get the knife. If you don't get the opportunity to get a good carnage, then what are you thinking?
Maybe rotate right.
Rotate right. What else could you do? Bit more like macro oriented. We could wait till point unlocks. You kind of see what I'm saying?
Wait. Yeah.
Right. You could sit here and just spam here. You could honestly just sit here and spam fish for knives. If you get a big knife, shout push, right? If you don't, then you wait for point unlocks. You can either rotate to point, create some distance, or if they rotate to point, now you push in and you take the brawl mirror on white. I don't care who goes point. If anybody goes point, you can take the fight in white, right? That's the difference between Reinhardt and Queen. You can outplay him in the mirror, but what Queen does is Queen is fishing, right? During this downtime here, there's always a chance that you hit a knife. You hit a knife, you get a cooldown trade, you get an advantage, you push. Reinhardt has Fire Strike, but it's not as much of a it's less of a chance to create an advantage that he can push. Do you see what I'm saying? Knife is better at creating those opportunities. So what you do is you have these staring matches, and it's scary for him, right? Because if you hit a knife on Sem or Cass, you shout push, it's bad news for them. Whereas he has to sit here and just throw Fire Strikes. It's worse. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So as long as you're staying outside of beam range, like right now, for example, if you want to, you can shout push this. You don't have to, but you can. Or you could see this queen, this Symmetra kind of overextending, and you don't shout push it. What do you do instead?
Wait for point to unlock.
Wait for point to unlock, or look at your cooldowns, right? Right?
Hit a knife on him.
Hit a knife. Stick a knife, yanker, shout knife, right? Or shout carnage, right? So here, obviously, worst case scenario, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, Bowie just trolls the lobby, but just fish, you know, look for opportunities, bam, bam. The difference between a diva and a Winston and a queen is the queen in most instances and a lot more matchups can be a little bit more patient looking for opportunities, whereas a diva and a Winston, you don't force opportunities by standing here. You have to create your own, right?
That's what I'm used to.
Yeah, right. Like a diva or Winston, you'd have to fly up here, you know, look for an opportunity, drop, go for a cycle, see if you can cause some chaos, fly out again, you know, flank around, jump them from behind here. But queen, you could sit here and fish. Now, if they're on like Sigma spam, not so much. But a lot of these matchups, you're going to be able to be patient and look and see opportunities kind of present themselves. Nice. Nice. So like your mechanics themselves aren't bad. I mean, obviously that's not a surprise. We wouldn't expect them to be bad. I think it's just the matchup specifically that you aren't as good at. And then again here, you don't need to force, right? Where should you be? What should you be doing?
Maybe look for angle on the left stairs.
Yeah, I think where you're at is actually fine, right? Because you could shoot the Ryan, but you can also like fish in here, right? You hit a knife, zoom, right? You don't? Okay, but we're gonna wait. Okay, right? Not bad. Knife is one of those opportunities that you could create, but it's not the only one, right? Like right here.
Could hit a knife first.
Maybe hit a knife first, but she also just walked into you, right? So probably fine. I mean, really honestly fine. Really honestly fine. Unfortunate.
Yeah.
But see, you entered this fight at such a massive disadvantage. The fact that it was even that close is pretty good. The big thing here is that if we look at the micro here, hit the carnage, hit the shot, duck out from cover CC. Hit the knife in the Rhine, pull quickly. Hit the carnage here, that actually needs to hit though, or don't use it at all, and then carnage here, and then you just got naded. So I think reasonably well. Knife is one of those fishing for opportunities plays, but it's not the only one. If people walk in, you just hit them with a carnage. Okay, let's any questions so far?
No, it makes sense.
Another one of your fish situations, right? Definitely unnecessary to shot that. Definitely unnecessary.
Yeah, wait, play that back. What did I do that?
Because you started taking damage.
I think I was looking. Yeah, I was looking at my health.
You started taking damage. Wait, hang on a second. 1 second. My cat is on my lap and just completely removed the earbuds from my ears. Hang on. Okay. Okay, I can hear you now. Sorry about that. Yeah, you just started taking damage and you're like, freaking out, you know, but chill. You're fine. And then obviously this now feels like you have to push there because now I use my shout, so I have to get something out of it, right? And then this is just a disaster. So let's reframe this fight without doing what you did. 3, 2, 1. What do you do?
Maybe back up a little bit.
Yeah, shoot the turrets back up maybe. So you're here without shout. What do you do?
Well, they have shield up, so maybe just kind of fish a little bit until.
Just fish.
Yeah.
You do nothing. You do nothing. You sit here and you throw knives and you fish. And that might be here. Then you ping pong here, fish for a knife. Okay, no, go up here. You hit a knife or Bowie pushes. What do you do?
Sim.
What is it?
Like hit him with the
Yeah,
carnage.
if you hit right. If you hit a knife or if Bowie pushes, you go carnage and shout. You either shout to push off of the knife, or if Bowie does this like without prompting, you shout this. Maybe the guy lives. I mean, he's gonna die either way, but at least you can go, okay, oh, he's on my backline, now I shout in and I kill you, Symmetra. Right? Don't just shout because you're standing there. Don't just shout. Fish, push, or kite.
Yeah, I would say that's my biggest problem, is just not knowing when to use shout, so.
I agree. Well, okay, the reason why it's not using shout is because you don't know what to do. Like, you're not patient enough, I guess, is my point. It's like, you're not patient for these opportunities to actually push, where, like, you have this tank that can create a passive advantage just by existing and by playing good cover and hitting your knives. And then as soon as that knife hits, or as soon as they get impatient and go, guys, we need to push here, then that's when you need your shout and your carnage and stuff like that, right? Like right now, like, what did you get out of your shout there?
Yeah, nothing.
Nothing. So then don't use it. If you want to ult. Just ult.
I could have used it after I ulted.
Right, right.
That would've helped.
Then use it to actually move around the map and push something, right? I will say micro thing here too. Either carnage her now, or ignore or ignore her right now, because she's dead.
Oh really? Like,
she's
guaranteed?
dead. She's dead.
Oh sure.
Okay. 100 damage. 100 damage. Watch her HP. You're gonna have to estimate it, but it's very important that you get good at that, because shoot her once right there, let her go. Because no, it was very close, because you either finish her quickly, because that would have allowed you to have done, you know, hit a melee and then quickly carnage on the Rhine. Turn your attention to actually stack your bleeds up. Here, right? You see this? You need to stop looking at her. You need to get on this Rhine. You need to turn around, carnage this Rhine so you can start healing up again. And also so that you don't die to the Cassidy on the flank as well. I'm gonna double check. I think it's 100 damage. I think it's 40 initially, and then
Yeah, it is. I remember.
yeah. So you need to try and get a good feeling about when you can stop shooting squishies. Obviously, if Kiriko's on the
I
field,
thought she was gonna have like 5 health left or something.
okay, fair enough. But really, okay, don't let this distract us from the real mistake here. Remember, why did you shout?
Just I shouted for no reason.
Right. So here you ult, you push. You can actually shout in and kill the Reaper. Now the funny thing is you shout on the Symmetra to push the Symmetra, and then just actually straight up miss her. Okay, that's okay. Let's keep going. Okay. But that's okay. You're okay. You're okay. You see? The fight still might be lost because you ate a nasty nade, but that's what shout is for. You misplayed this terribly. You got penned. But you had shout, you hit a nice shot, and you used the shout to not only survive, but then go forth and actually do things with it. You see this? Look at this.
Yeah.
He hit the pen. How can you not die? You know? The only thing here, I think, is maybe a little bit more respect with the distance here.
Yeah.
Just so that you could survive just a little bit longer, just so that you can get that burst of healing. But really not too bad. Like, you misplayed this one in terms of getting pinned, but that's exactly what we're looking at there. The fact that you got pinned there and still, like, got a kill off it and almost won the fight off of that is crazy. Crazy. Now, this is weird, but I don't but I don't hate it. Right? Did your shout have a reason or a purpose?
Nah, I was again just kind of using it.
Are you sure? Are you sure? I had a very clear reason for me.
I guess they get the cover.
Sure. You took an off angle. Now, you don't have shout if they push you. But theoretically, if they push you, your team should be able to push back. So here's my stance on the issue. I don't know. I really don't know. I think this is something to try. It's Legion Garden, right? It's misery to get across this choke. How are you going to fish from this position? Ugh, here. You see my point?
Shoot the Rhine in his back while he's trying to focus our...
Right. But like, let's say you had not shouted across. How would you create an advantage from this position here on my screen? You kind of see what I'm saying? It's really hard, isn't it?
Yeah.
Where are your knife opportunities? Where's your spam? Where's your risk? Like, you could get brig booped at any point in time here. So I think what you did is very reasonable. Let's see what happens. Just chill. Fish. Good try. Nice. Right? I mean, look at the Bowie, right? Bowie's miserable. That was really, really well done. So the shout was used there to just create a different off angle for yourself. But at least, would you been able to make this crossing without shout? I don't think so. I don't think you would have. So I like it. Make sense?
Yeah.
Not something that's going to be applicable on every map, but, you know. Now your next shout, I want to see some actual juice here. I knew that brig move was coming. I just knew it. By the way, did this brig have bash? I want to know. Oh, she bashed and she's a moron. Okay, never mind. You need to assume, if you saw the bash, I'm your biggest fan. If you didn't see the bash, I'm your biggest hater. Because there's no way like that's a real human being. But you need to try and make sure. Ah, it's unfortunate. That's okay. You get the kill, you don't even need to worry about it. Okay. Fish, 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 fish. You know where they're going to rotate to. Oh, maybe I don't know where they're going to rotate to. I was not expecting that. No shot they're going to try and rotate across the bridge. No way. I mean, this is fine. This is just, you know, AFK simulator. Just sit here and just throw things. Okay. All right. Now. Oh, they Valk? What do you think about this shout? We're going to play it in slow motion.
I think I was worried about the Bastion, but I don't know.
It's kind of a hard
I mean, it's
read,
fine
isn't
because we
it?
can push onto the Rhine since it's already antsied and stuff.
Sure. My question for you, I think it was the HP. I think it was the HP in the Bastion. But I will say, maybe if you're a little bit better positioned, that you don't have to use your shot here, and then you can actually shout in on the Bastion, if that makes sense. Like legit, just walk onto him. Not a bad bash. I don't think that's or bash shout. But again, it's one of those questions where it feels like it's a self-preservation shout, and I always am going to question those. Sometimes you're going to have to do it. That shout you needed to do, but I wonder if there's a way that you could have played that one better to where you didn't have to use the shout. I mean, it's just stupid from them. I don't know what Bowie's doing. Nice shout, by the way.
Yeah, just in time.
Just in time. It's just no way. He's got to be so mad. All right. Now. This is silly. Why take the tank trade when the tank is walking right past you? You know?
Yeah,
Here's your boy. And you got your ultimate, too. Walk on the cast.
This is terrible. He blocked it. I didn't even know. Can shield block it?
Yes, it's very hard to do. You have to angle your shield. Like, watch how he does it. He angles his shield right there.
Oh,
you see?
So
you slide along it, and it's actually not the shield blocking it. It's whatever the heck this thing is. Bumps you, and he's able to avoid the area of effect, right? But my main problem here is well played with the shout.
Just focus.
If he cheats and walks right past you, great. You walk right past him. There's no reason for you to be walking back on Bowie and throwing a knife into a shield. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Get him. Yep. I think the shout was a little bit like, oh crap, you know, I want to push this guy. Wait, never mind, I don't. Don't carnage, don't carnage. Now you carnage. Okay, is this just cleanup? I assume this is just cleanup. Okay. Okay. So, skills. Things to practice. What do you see?
Shout timing, like knowing when to shout and why, like why I'm shouting.
Well, then what needs to be practiced specifically? Because that you could have guessed that before we even turned on the replay code review, right? So, what about your shout timing needs to be better?
Shouting to push onto a squishy.
Shout for push or
I forgot the other thing you said.
Well, think about it this way. Bowie pins you. You're gonna shout.
Oh, for just defense.
Right. Shout for push or defense. Right. Don't let bad cover use positioning force a shout. Because if you're getting pushed, the shout gets massive value, right? If you are pushing, the shout gets massive value, both the speed and the HP. If you're shouting and standing still, I've got questions. Sometimes it's the case, like we saw when you got caught by the Rhine pin, you kind of bumped into the air of that last round, and then the Bastion shows up. But even then, it doesn't feel very good. You want to try and avoid that from happening by playing better cover usage than actually having a decisive reason for why you're shouting, even if it means sitting on it a little bit, okay? And then speaking of sitting on it, at least in these trades that aren't double sniper, what is your Ramacha, Reinhardt, even the Queen Mirror, what are you doing? How do you approach these matchups? Think about Lijiang Tower Control Center on those fights, the start of those fights. What did we want you to do?
Fishing.
Fishing, right.
For knives, yeah.
Fish for, well, not just knives, but just either you're fishing for knives, fat shots, keeping up general pressure, then looking to respond to an opportunity or the enemy pushing you. So it's like, as opposed to Winston Diva, which have to proactively create their advantages by moving, if you play good cover and you're fishing for knives, you don't have to force an opportunity. You can just spam, control space, spam, see an opportunity, close on it immediately with your shout, carnage, and so on. And if they get impatient and push you, you're also equipped to deal with that as well. Does that make sense?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Last thing is knife matchups. Let's just say Gracie matchups. Brig Bash, Genji deflect, etc. Nothing crazy here. I think your mechanics with it were mostly fine, but actually, you know what? No, it's not even Gracie. It's not Gracie. It was Carnage. I'm an idiot. I mean, knife matchups helps too, but I think it's more important to get the Carnage matchups, right? Because that's your more impactful cooldown. At least once you've actually committed, and it's a shame to use it just to trade it for a deflect, right? When you should have been able to force the deflect with just hitting a shot, right? And then follow up in the Carnage afterwards. Okay, so pick one. You know the routine. Pick one of those things. Practice them one at a time in each match. Put some emphasis on it. A lot of these things are just going to come with time, but we can accelerate the process by actually working at these things one at a time. Do you have any questions?
No, I think I'm all good. I got a session in 2 weeks for an hour, so I'm hyped to come back, keep working on shit.
All right, sounds good. If you have any questions, if you like run into a matchup or a map where you're like, I don't know, how is I supposed to approach this, just shoot me a message and I'll get back to you.